what's up? It's your girl Neetu here, and today I will be talking about chaos. Yes, you heard it right, so buckle up. Today we are going to talk about the full-blown trade war across the globe. In this video, we will take a deep dive on what exactly is happening, the chaos, and what it means for your pocket, your future, and even for your mortgage. As you all know, I'm a licensed mortgage broker in Ontario and Alberta. Contacts in the description. Let's get started. So as usual, in a move to make America great again.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. Waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again.
The Liberation Day sounds to me more like a Judgment Day.
Come with me if you want to live.
So jokes apart, this has caused chaos in literally all across the world. Stock markets are crashing. You name it, every industry is crashing. People don't know what exactly to do. Every industry, every country, and I feel that every single human being on earth is having that sensation, is feeling this pinch, the kind of uncertainty, the kind of what next. In a nutshell, for Canada, so far what we have right now, not to say that more might be coming or not, you never know, 25% on Canadian goods and services, a small but mighty 10% on energy, and a whopping 25% on automobiles. This is what the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has to say about the tariffs.
Yesterday marked the latest in President Trump's unprecedented series of U.S. tariffs that are designed to reshape the international trading system. The ambition of these measures is enormous. The effects on the global economy will be monumental. We received confirmation that the latest reciprocal tariffs will not be imposed on Canada. At the same time, President Trump confirmed that the tariffs announced last week against our auto industry will come in, and indeed have come into effect today. So while it's progress that further tariffs were not imposed on Canada yesterday, the President's actions will reverberate here in Canada and across the world. Three different sets of U.S. tariffs remain in place and will continue to pose significant threats to Canadian workers and Canadian businesses.
He even went on to say that if US won't lead the global trade scenario, Canada will. That was a bold statement considering that Canada is not doing good economically and financially, and considering the kinds of trillions of debts that we have on us. But coming back to the car market, the automobiles, that's getting a hit of 25%. You know how confusing it is for people working in these industries. It is like chaos. You take a car, maybe Ford, maybe any other manufacturer, that's just not made the entire parts of the car in one country. Some parts may be coming from Canada, some parts may be from the US, Mexico, Colombia, you name it. Every single small part is coming from different parts of the world. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how expensive are the new car models going to be. Is it going to be gazillions of dollars as a price tag towards the end? Because prices are going to go through the roof with all these tariffs and counter tariffs and tariffs and tops of tariffs. This is just going nuts. I mean, I'm not a political person, but this is worth talking about because I personally feel that I have never been glued onto the TV for news. In 2020, when COVID hit, we wanted to see what next. Like how many more years we are going to be putting on this mask. And right after COVID, we had the inflation hit. We had the Russian geopolitical war. Then we had inflation coming up. Then we had, Bank of Canada's, I don't know, rise and ups and downs. And then we had mortgage changes here in Canada happening. A lot of new things for first-time home buyers. And now every single day we are glued to the news on checking what exactly is Trump going to do next.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
I mean, in all seriousness, this is basically a reality TV show, but this is actually in real. And has all the vibes of a reality TV show. Yesterday, even the European head, they announced that there will be counter tariffs and negotiations happening if they are not successful. China, on the other hand, has been not happy. I mean, right from when Trump came into power, even in his first year and the second year, he kept on complaining about China. You can understand the frustration and anger that's coming from Asian market on how China is going to deal with the so-called bullying and the so-called trade war and unfair trade practices. So they are saying that this is going to just escalate tension, pushing us closer to all-out trade war. All the changes we are going to see is in the next coming 3 to 6 months. With all these world tariffs and counter tariffs and levies and retaliatory measures, what exactly does this mean for you and me? What does this mean for our pocket? So number one is inflation. That is going to be the major concern all over again. Yes, we thought that it is in our past, the Bank of Canada is going to be cutting rates, but if these tariffs are going to be into effect, the Bank of Canada will have to raise the interest rates again because inflation, the prices of everything is going to increase, not just steel, not just aluminum, not just automobiles. It's going to have that rolling effect even on your groceries, your day-to-day stuff, you name it. Basically, for mortgages, I would say if you are on a variable rate mortgage, now is your time to pick up that phone, call your bank, call your customer support team and ask them what exactly is your best fixed mortgage, because in the next 2 to 3 months or less, I wouldn't take a chance 2 to 3 months. I would rather do it in the next coming month or 2 maximum. The Bank of Canada will have to be raising their rates, and once the Bank of Canada increases the rates, it's going to be very difficult to negotiate for a better fixed rate mortgage than it is right now. So for you, if you already have a mortgage, if you already have a home, and if you are on a variable mortgage, you will have to change that into a fixed rate mortgage. Your terms and all the other conditions can remain the same. We cannot touch that, because if you touch that, then that's going to be a penalty. That's going to be considered as a refinance. So that's what you should be doing if you have a variable rate mortgage. If you have a fixed rate, you cannot do anything. It's fixed until the end of your term. So if you have signed up for a 3-year mortgage, a 4-year, 5-year, you will have to wait until the end of your mortgage, or consider breaking it and see how exactly your penalty can be used, or that break even that with if you roll into another mortgage and go from there. The third point is real estate roller coaster. The stock markets are crashing, so that means everything else. The industries are already going to crash. We've got the auto plant Stellantis in Windsor, Ontario. They've already decided to be closed for the next 2 weeks. People think that they are going to lose jobs. Yes, that's going to be a big concern and a very valid concern. And not only for that, because if you don't think that that's going to happen for you, I would say consider investment. Consider investing into real estate, because as of right now, there is that small dip, there is that small breakthrough in that curve that is going down. There is a buyer's market in most of the cities in Canada. You take Ontario, you take the West, it is going to be a downhill right now, and most people who think that they should get a deal both for real estate in terms of house prices and in terms of mortgage, right now I feel this would be the best rate, best time. Next 2 to 3 years is going to be very crucial, and the rates are going to go skyrocketing, if not rates, interest rates for sure. So consider getting into longer term, maybe a 5 year, so that you can get a more discount even for a fixed or a variable. You can. Same thing happens for your house. Right now there are people who just want to sell off and get rid of the real estate, and right now, because it's kind of considered to be a balanced and more of on the buyer market side, I cannot generalize, but depending on where exactly you're looking for. If in Ontario, I feel it's more of a buyer's market. If in Calgary, I feel that it is kind of a balanced market. If you look at detached homes, I feel it's more leaning towards the balanced market. It's difficult to sell if you're planning to sell a condo, but it's very easy to get into the housing market if you're planning to buy a condo. So get in touch and we can help you out. Calgary Real Estate Board has just announced they has just given their report on the past month, and this is what exactly it looks like for the markets for the homes, for detached homes, semi-detached, townhomes. And for detached home, the average price is roughly about 800 to 850. You can get in some faraway areas, you can get some brand new constructions in this price range. If you want to add in a basement suite or do some more additions, maybe a deck, maybe window coverings, that price range is going to go up, consider up to $1 million. With that being said, what exactly are the things that's bothering homeowners in terms of mortgages? For those of you who sticked around, this is what I'm going to tell you. Number one, people who do not have passed their probation. This is one of the biggest things that I have seen, that we get a rejection because banks need you to complete your 3 months probation. If you have a job, if you've been in the same industry, yes, that's doable, but we have to show that you've been in the same industry for over years and you're just getting that change, and we can possibly get an exception, but that is on case-to-case basis. What I've heard from the managers and the underwriters are that if you are employed with a large corporation, let's say Alberta Health Services or Suncor, or with any oil and gas company, or with similar other bigger employers, it's kind of easy to forgive that, even if you have a letter of employment saying that you do not have a probationary period and you are on full-time employment, permanent employee with a guaranteed hours. That's doable. But if you are considered as, employed with an employer who is not as big, then yes, the entire application looks a little bit weak. So those kind of applications usually tend to get rejected, or they tell you to wait for the next 2 or 3 months and then come back to them again with the same file and they will get you approved. The second case is where I see rejections are especially self-employed people who have less than 20%. Yes, it's a little bit difficult to get them approved, especially those who do not have a full 2 years in the business, or they have not been in the same industry. It's a little bit difficult, for you if you don't have that 20%. There are programs for you to qualify under 20%, but that has to be a really strong application in terms of your credit, in terms of your income, in terms of who exactly were your employer, before. So, and what exactly did you declare in your first year for your business? So all that plays a big role. And as I said, the mortgage application, they look into the entire thing to see whether your application is strong. All of this is done to minimize the risk for them. The risk, they are definitely not going to take it. Number 3 is mortgage frauds. Now, there has been an article on this that mortgage frauds have been decreasing, but it's currently increasing on first-time home buyers. That's right. We have seen fake documents. We have seen fake bank statements. So just be careful. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you tell it to your bank, whether you tell it to your broker. All the documents that you provide is going through a complete scan. I mean, they have the systems in place to understand whether it's plagiarized, whether it's tampered with. These underwriters for all these banks and all these lenders, they have seen everything, and literally everything. And especially from last year October, things have been scrutinized a little bit more because of the political pressure for housing, because of everybody wants to be, getting into the market. There is also a bigger scam. There has been cases where people are getting fined, people have the licenses have been revoked. Fraud is fraud. You cannot just not pay your taxes, get the best interest rate, and try and get a bigger mortgage for you. Like I said, underwriters from the banks, from the lenders, they have seen it all. Be true to yourself. Do not go into this. Do not go into such things. That's it, a small video from me. If you want me to talk about or explain some things about mortgages, or talk about something more, into politics, which I don't really like, but I can do it for you. So see you soon in the next video. Bye for now.